It's your boy Bleeves.
This is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right.
Everybody listen up.
If you don't use NordVPN, you could get hacked, and that would suck.
Bada bing, ching, ching, big profit. Even when the market sideways.
Don't forget to sign up for MEXC. The link's in the description down below. That helps me out tremendously.
This it's not financial advice.
OKX is offering incentives for you to sign up. Make sure that you sign up today in the description down below.
I'm always right. I'm always right. I'm always right.
Go to atlashealthline.com for all of your Delta 8 gummy needs and for all your Delta 8 inhalation needs, I want to say. I don't know. Something like that. It's in the description below.
It's been a long day. I mean a long week. Maybe a long year. So let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors.
Guys, if you're outside of America, or if you're lucky enough to be using NordVPN, you could be signed up to BitGet for all of your futures trading needs. The link is in the description down below. Hey guys, if you're trading in America, you can use up-down trading through crypto.com. It's in the description down below. Sign up today and start trading.
Corporate riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way. So everybody gets sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. This is Bedtime with Bleeves. Binance just got sued by the SEC. CZ Binance doesn't care. Should you care? I think we should all care at this point because it's clear and evident that if you vote Democrat at this point, you are probably going to have a big problem. Your crypto, our crypto, is going to be banned if you vote Democrat. I don't think, I have to believe that these people have completely just checked themselves out of reality at this point. I don't understand how they can even just... I don't understand at all how they can think that this is the play. How is this the move to attack cryptocurrency en masse? There are too many people who are supporters of cryptocurrency at this point. There's just too many people for this to be a thing. And if it continues, if it maintains itself the way this is going, then the Democrats are going to get absolutely decimated, and they're going to be asking themselves a lot of questions. And I mean a lot of questions coming very, very soon. Now, here's the other part. Donald Trump thinks that Bitcoin is an attack on the US dollar and will also move to ban it. So your two options, if you believe in cryptocurrency, well, your three options are Ron DeSantis, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., or for Trump to change his mind. That seems to be the options that are presented to you at this point. Because, let me tell you, February of this year, Donald Trump said cryptocurrency represents a threat to the U.S. dollar's dominance and that he doesn't believe that it has a future. That is dangerous, and that's us heading right back down the same path that we're already on, just with a different person in charge. if you care about cryptocurrency, now is the time for you to stop pretending and start listening to what people are saying and not saying, no, I like Trump. He's probably just going to be fine. He's not. He's going to move to ban it until he comes out and says differently. He is going to move to ban it because it's a threat to the US dollar. Everybody, save Ron DeSantis and Robert F. Kennedy at this point, have said that. So, until they change their mind, that's the way that it's going to be. Well, so here's the thing. It doesn't matter how he feels right now. Here's what matters. What matters is what he feels when it matters, right? At some point, he's going to come out and he's going to say something probably different than what he said before. Not because he doesn't stand on his principles, but because that is not a principle to stand on. Currently, the people that support Donald Trump are largely invested in cryptocurrency and do believe that cryptocurrency represents something good. So let's wait to see what he says before we say, no, absolutely not. At this point, the answer should be no. But everybody should be open to changing because we know that Ron DeSantis is pro-Bitcoin. We don't know if Ron DeSantis is pro-everything else. We know that Robert F. Kennedy is pro-Bitcoin. We don't know that Robert F. Kennedy is pro-everything else. We know that Donald Trump thinks that Bitcoin is a threat, but we do also know that Donald Trump ran an NFT collection through Ethereum to make money, right? So consider at least that we got a long way to go. It's a long election, and we're going to find out very, very shortly how everybody kind of lines up. This will be a hot topic, and this is a large coalition of people, and it will not get smaller over the next year to year and a half until the election. So be very careful, but remember that if you support somebody who does not support if you support someone who does not support cryptocurrency and the principles behind it, then we're going to get ganked, right? So I have no idea how this plays out yet, but it's early. And I think that, we're overreacting at this moment, but I think when it's all said and done, I think we're going to be kind of fine. But let's get into the market. Trading a little bit sideways right now. Nothing really changed. Bitcoin came down into the close proximities. Guys, by the way, we've been talking about this for a long time about getting into this area. So when people are like, oh my God, it all happened. Well, we haven't even hit the spots where the liquidity is yet. So if we reverse course right here, it's probably going to mean that we're stuck. Like we're literally going to be stuck if we don't come down here and at least get into this little range to grab some of this for the upside. So I'm just telling you right now, it doesn't look like this ends very well, because here's the thing: bulls are fighting the bears who have already dumped. They're done. They're finished dumping. They have nothing left to worry about. They're good. They've liquidated their positions, and it's time to move on. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean, you hear it, you see stuff, but look, we've been hearing about that for years. We heard that Hillary Clinton was going to get indicted, right? I mean, come on, give me a fucking break. We also heard what's his name? We heard that Jim Jordan was going to personally molest or whatever he does to boys in the shower, Hunter Biden. And it's been, 2.5 years now? And we've known all about the laptop. Republicans have been investigating this laptop for 2 years and haven't arrested a single person. So there's a lot of propaganda that we use to try to sway people's opinions. But I don't know if anybody gets arrested off of that. Now, I know that Donald Trump did get booked and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think that I don't know that that's going to result in anything. It never does. It never seems to. So I would just think that that's just posturing at this point until it's more than posturing. So let's move on to the news. Google search for crypto falls to late 2020 levels. Now it says, in response to the latest research on crypto Google search, Nigeria held the way for the best rating for many crypto-related searches. Searches on the AI have reached a brand new report excessive. Over the previous few months, the phrase AI has seen an amazing enhancement in Google searches. In response to the info from Google developments, the time period crypto has a rating of 17, which is a method that references the level up from 100. Bitcoin and Ethereum have additionally plunged considerably. The search curiosity of these phrases has seen a downturn since 2022 after a month of the Terra Luna ecosystem collapse. Nevertheless, the fairly unceremonious shutdown of FTX spiked folks' curiosity in crypto in November. So we saw a spike in it, but now it's gone back down to some pretty low levels. So cryptocurrency still under the current here. And that leads us to what happened today. This is the article that we read yesterday. And it's very possible. Did we do that this morning? Bitcoin hints at a bull trap. Here's what it means for traders. Could we be in a bull trap? And the answer, I think we decided, was yes, it could be a bull trap. Now, we didn't think it was going to be this much of a trap, but we haven't even hit the bottom of my channel yet. So, I mean, guys, this is this. Now, we could maybe make an argument. No, we're not going to be able to make an argument that this is changing because maybe we call this 25.2 because we didn't hit that last time. We only hit 25.8 last time. And I told you we needed to hit 25.2, right? As a level of support to cause people to buy in and get a bounce. Well, probably need a little bit less. So we'll see what happens over the next few hours. But we got a nice little spot. We got the reversal here, and then it continued to spiral down. Then we got the big wick at the bottom, which wicked out at 25.4. Then we got this move back up to the upside, and now we've got two big blue candles happening right now. Now, why are there big blue candles happening? And that is because Binance is very popular in Asia. So with this going on, this is probably going to be a red evening. It's probably going to be this recovery that we saw is not going to maintain itself. We're probably going to see some more significant downside. Now, Ethereum wicked almost down to 1770, but we just can't seem to get down into these areas or maintain them. So we might be in this little fight, and it might be just a long sideways. This might just be one of those long sideways summers. We could probably be looking at this thing just continuing to move. I mean, if you go to the day chart, everything that I said would happen at this point, based on that candle right there, is out of play, right? So that parabolic curve might end up being broken. If it doesn't roll back in the next little while, I think it's far enough out. We've got a couple of 8-hour candles that are probably minted outside of it. So, you know, it could be that we're DOA and have to start thinking about significant sort of downside. I don't think that we're going to go below 20, though, by the way. I feel like maybe the next move is going to be down here to 22, roughly. But we'll see how it goes. So the SEC has sued Binance. They did not mention Ripple as a security. When you go look at their claim, they had a list of tokens that they said were that were securities: BNB, BUSD, Cardano, Matic. They called them all, and they called them all securities. But they did not even include a single mention of XRP. Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that most probably the SEC has lost their case, and that the SEC knows that they just lost their case. So I get this big sense here that people are realizing this, and then Binance responds, and look, CZ Binance basically says, "Fuck you." This we're hearing blah 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 blah. The SEC is coming after, and CZ comes out and he says, and he's got a 4-part statement right here. Whoops. And of course, I don't have all 4 of them. But he says, boom, 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 boom. He doesn't give a shit, by the way. He didn't care at all about what was going on here. This is what he responded. He said 4. Now, if you guys don't know what that means, 4 is the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. On his Twitter feed, he has actually he has a list over here: education, compliance, product and service. 4, ignore FUD, fake news, attacks, etc. So what he is basically telling you right now is ignore this. Our team is all standing by, ensuring systems are stable, including withdrawals and deposits. We will issue a response once we see the complaint. Haven't seen it yet. Media gets the info before we do. Now, why would the media get the information before they do? Oh, yeah, because this is not about whether or not they're right or wrong. This is about the media helping the government to control the flow of information, right? So, and then here's more stuff that happens during the course of the day. The same day the SEC sues CZ Binance, Thorchain integrates BNB. Now people can get BNB in a decentralized, trustless, permissionless, and censorship-resistant way through the Thorchain. Hong Kong government approves trading of the following tokens. June 5th, SEC sues CZ Binance for markets that include all of the tokens that were authorized by Hong Kong. So just in case you guys are wondering, Gary Gensler, and it's quoted by CZ Binance, through 13 charges, we allege that Zhao and Binance entities engaged in an extensive web of deception, conflict of interest, lack of disclosure, and calculated evasion of the law. And by the way, you should it should be pointed out that this looks bad on the surface because you see what the SEC wants you to see at this point. And remember, the media is in the pocket right now of banks. Government is in the pocket of banks. They all have a vested interest in stopping what's happening with cryptocurrency. So what you're seeing right now is you're seeing this facade being thrown over you to say, oh, he must be guilty because the SEC is doing it. Look, the SEC can't even win its XRP case, right? We're at that point, I'm pretty sure. I wonder if he ever reads the comments under his post from the consumers he is supposed to protect. How about this one? If the SEC is here to protect us, are they? Then we have Ki Young Ju. And by the way, it should be pointed out that Richard Zhang, I don't know what his response has been so far, but he did take over for this kind of area. So I would expect to see more from him than I would from CZ Binance over the next 24 hours. I would think that CZ Binance might fall back to the wayside. I think he might fall backwards a little bit. And I think we might start to see Richard Zhang start to make a lot more points out here. But the SEC sues Binance, but no major withdrawals from Binance. User balances are increasing, actually, which means that they're being supported, which is an indicative of the fact that people just don't care what the SEC is saying anymore. This is a move not by Binance, not by the SEC, but by people. The people right now are saying that this is bullshit and they're not going to tolerate it. And they've stepped up to support Binance. Binance, in their official blog, expressed disappointment with the SEC's complaint. And there is a full statement here. We're not going to read the whole thing. While we take the allegations seriously, they should not be the subject of an SEC enforcement action, let alone on an emergency basis. We intend to defend our platform vigorously. The SEC's refusal to productively engage with us is just another example of the Commission's misguided and conscious refusal to provide much-needed clarity and guidance to the digital asset industry. Now, let's remember and go back here. Who is behind everything? Democrats right now are behind all of this. Liz Warren wants to create a Gestapo to come door to door and take your crypto. She wants to stop you from having crypto. She wants to stifle your freedom. Now, if you're a Democrat, that's okay. If you're a Republican, that's okay too. It doesn't change what Liz Warren is doing. She is trying to stifle your ability to trade cryptocurrency by telling you that it's used for fentanyl. Well, you know what's used for fentanyl purchases on the streets? Biatch, dollars, US dollars, and I don't see you doing shit about US dollars. So until you stop being a ridiculous Native American hypocrite, then why don't you cut that shit out and stop while you're behind. Next, let's move on because I'm gonna go off on this one. Bitcoin weekly momentum crosses bearish for the first time on the weekly. Now, this is the weekly chart. This is the MACD, and as you can see right here, the MACD has now become bearish over the last couple of days. We saw this move. We've been watching this consolidation. This is that downward facing channel. We're still not at the bottom of the channel, by the way. So, you know, this is if we just kind of move this out and look at it from this perspective, a descending parallel channel breaks to the upside over 80% of the time, right? So let's break this out and call it for what it is. We've got this channel moving to the downside. What does it mean? It means that we're going to break to the upside. What is our line here that matters the most? It's 25.2. Now, if we go to 25.2, we're still going to be screwed because, again, and we've got to go back over here one more time and check the liquidity, because this liquidity map is telling us what we need to see, not what we want to see. And it's telling us that all of the liquidity that we need in order to make a push is located right here. So even though 25.2 is really kind of, that is the line, by the way, to say that it gets kind of bearish, it would not be the worst thing to see us completely wick down into this 22 range and grab some of this liquidity. Imagine, if you will, having the power of all of this capital right here layered on top of where you currently are, and then the same set of investors continuing to come in. That's what getting these longs into the equation will do for the market, right? And if it's a flash, then people will just be like, oh my God, it just happened, and let's go, baby. There'll be a lot of buying. There'll be a lot of buying pressure, and we'll be better off for it. So if we don't get that, and if we don't get some wicking, if we don't get some real movement towards that bottom, then we're probably not going to move very far. This is going to be one of those summers where all we're doing is just trending sideways. There's going to have to be a capitulation. It doesn't have to be a capitulation back down to any of the levels that we saw before. It doesn't have to be. It can just be one nice little wick coming down here where there's a massive Michael Saylor, you Bitcoin maxi POSU. All you have to do is just sell it all and buy it back. That's all you got to do. Sell it all and buy it back. Dunk this market down, put us in that position, let all that liquidation happen, let all of those longs get filled, and then we are off to the races, because that type of liquidity will fuel us up to 37,300. Not because it fuels us the entire way, but because it gets us into 31,000 and gets us up into that 32,000 range. And when you get to that 32,000 range, there are so many shorts out there that are going to get wrecked. There's a gigantic heat map right in that area from 32 to 36 that upon entering into that, there's strong liquidations. It's going to make it a lot easier for us to run the price up from that point. So that's what we're looking at. That's what probably needs to happen. We're bearish at the moment. We're starting to feel that impact, but it's not lost yet. Inside the SEC's Binance complaint, here is a bunch of the testimony, and here's a bunch of the stuff. And look at this. Paints a picture reminiscent of FTX. And who's doing this? The block crypto owner. Let's see who owns the block. Larry Cermak. Now, Larry Cermak, vice president at the block, has announced that he will be taking the reins at the Crypto and Blockchain News website with from interim CEO Bobby Moran. The second change in leadership. Let's go look at Larry Cermak. Oh, it's part of Alameda Research. So this is a bought and paid for newspaper that's trying to manipulate. Look, you guys know how I feel about this. There's probably a lot of manipulation here. Now, this is Colin Wilhelm and Michael McSweeney. Read this at your leisure. I'm not going to read this to you, but they are. And by the way, we did see this because we saw this with the New York. We saw this with the New York Attorney General. They were running this up as if there was some kind of like, this is just the most nefarious group of people that you've ever seen. And we have evidence that CZ Binance was involved in everything, but then they never show you an email where he actually replies to anything. You see that he's copied on it. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that he's not copied on it. I'm not saying that he's not involved in this kind of stuff, but then they start to take liberties as they're explaining why this is severe. And that, well, if he's in the list and this is what they're wink, wink alluding to, then he must be guilty. And that's bullshit. That's not really how any of it is going to play out. So, but let's get into price action now. Let's start looking around the market and let's see where we are. So, WAGMI Games continues to continue. It continues to kind of move along here. And I pared a whole bunch of this stuff down because I was doing something the other day. So, but WAGMI 54.67, Cult 35.20. SHIB 79.78. Up here near the top with the smallest declines, by the way, are all of the tokens that have been around for a little while. So it should be important to note that. Also, Planet was pumping when that happened. So even though the market did dip, Planet did not. It's a brand new token still, hasn't dipped. Bloom doesn't have a whole lot of trading volume, only has 16,000 in trading volume, so it's trading at 14.21. Volt 52.61. Now still did have a dip, but again, 10%, not as big as many of these other ones. Loyal's down 14%. Mong is down 14%. Pepe gained a 0, got it back, but look, Pepe came all the way down. Look at this wick. Came all the way down to 6 zeros, 87.92. What did I tell you? I told you it was a perfect time to buy if it comes down into these low levels. And what happened? It moved right back up. I mean, you're looking at from this, if you got in, because I said about 9 would be a good one. So if you got in at 9, you're up about 14% right now. So I wouldn't be mad at that. Grumpy Cat added a 0 back, had a big sell-off during that period of time. Still hasn't recovered. PSYOP is down 17.8%. For those of you who are pre-salers for PSYOP, yes, you are still up. We're still up about 25%. And we've only gotten half of our tokens so far. So when we get all of our tokens, we'll be up 250%. As soon as Ben ETH gets around to it, or ETH Ben, whatever the fuck. Ben trading at 71.09. Same thing as everybody else, feeling that pressure. It started to reverse, came back up a little bit, but it can't hold its position. Still coming down. All of this stuff happening is not great. It's not a great look, no matter how you look at it. None of this has been a great look for anybody. And then you have RFD down here at 11.53. And who am I missing here? So we used to have MMAI in here. So let's get them back in because they got good liquidity, and we want to keep watching that. Came down with the rest of the market, 32.32. However, still up, did not tank with the rest of the market. So it's probably way up here. Yeah, only down 5% on the day. What else are we missing over here on the chart? All right. Now I got to come into chat here. So what are we looking at over here? What's are we missing anything? That PSYOP. Is PSYOP on here? PSYOP is 1035. Oh, Jesus Christ. PSYOP hasn't even launched yet. I know you don't want it. Dude, Maddie, I got it, man. I know you don't want it to succeed. You are wishing for it not to succeed. I got you, man. But yeah, it's I'm still going to make money off of it. So I'm still good. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, just hate it, be mad at it. You know, it's about all you can do. By the way, Rick, I removed that from the list over here, I think, but Jesus fucking Christ. Like Rick is so far down. It's almost back to the start. 2.6 million market cap. I mean, I think this thing was at a 26 million market cap, 2 days ago. It's come a long ass way down. So, and then it also had Morty launch, and Morty, 12 zeros, 97.99. down lower. What did they do? And look, I did not like this shit at all. Okay. And I'm a big fan of Rick and Morty, but when they did Pickle Rick, I thought, oh, that's cute, because that's a meme, that's memeable. And then what do? They had a pre-sale for Morty. And what does that mean? That's a cash grab. So what happens in the cash grab? They run it up, dunk on everybody. And now anybody who didn't sell or couldn't sell or didn't get their tokens or whatever the case is now way down. 24-hour volume, 5 million market cap. Who the fuck even knows at this point? Has 168,000 in liquidity, so can't be more than a 1.5 million market cap in this ecosystem. Just that's so ridiculous. Look, when this kind of stuff happens, you've got to ask yourself the question, like, what is going to happen? And you can decide that you like it. You could see there's a reason for it, but there's no utility on Rick. So what's the purpose for Morty? So there's no reason for any of it to exist. So, and if that's the case, then, I mean, come on. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to do anything. You have no shot here. So anyway, back to the market. We did have some positive. By the way, it was up 1 billion, I think at around 7:30, I want to say. And it's now down 3 billion as the Asian market starts to digest what's going on. So we'll just keep watching this and see how it goes in the next little while. One of the important things, though, is check this out up here. We now have $48 billion in 24-hour volume. So we actually have money moving in and out of the market for once, which we have not had in a while. So at least there's that, even though I think it's mostly sell-off. Now, Luna Classic, which did have a nice little spike to 11,505 and is now almost back down to where it started. Now, guys, I told you before, and I'm going to tell you one more time, this right here is a nice level of resistance right here at 1,200, right? 3/0's 1,200 is going to be that spot, but the big resistance is going to come when you get to 12/0's 1,400 or 1,500 right here. When you get to this level, this is when it really kicks in. This is where you've got a long-term trend, much longer than this level of resistance, right? So if we can pump up from 11 through this 12 and 13 kind of area and get up into 15, that's when you've got a fight on your hands. Otherwise, all we're doing is just bouncing around. Like, really, this is just opportunities for you to make plays and for you to make money. Look, USTC is so far down right now that, like, I feel like what the smartest play right now would be to move everything that you have on your Luna Classic into USTC right now. I feel like that would be the play, because you got this spike from from Luna Classic, right? And now it's time to talk about parity, which is the 16th, I want to say. You'll have parity. Once you have parity, what's the next step? The next step is the repeg. And if that's the next step, then the USTC pump is going to be significant. Now, how far can it go? Well, if you're at 1.2 cents right now, just consider a couple months ago, back in February, it went up to about 4 cents. So, like, this is no joke. The potential exists for this to 4 and 5x just to get back into some of these trend lines that we're now breaking out of. Now, it could be that it won't go past this. Remember, this is a long-term sort of trend line over here that we were watching for a long time, right? And it's never broken out of this trend line to the upside. Now, it has broken downwards, and we can maybe make an argument now that this has been played out and that it's more along the lines of this. Probably matches up pretty good. It doesn't match up perfectly, but it is pretty good the way that it matches up. So you could say that now you have this downward descending channel that, it'll break to the upside. Well, you're at the bottom of this channel, so this is the perfect opportunity for you to make that play and for you to make that move. So I would not call a play on USTC a bad move at this point, but that's for you to decide. I'm just giving you an opinion on it. That's where we're going to wrap it up right now. Again, the market's the markets are bleeding everywhere. This shit is all over the fucking place. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? You're missing Saitama and Hulk, Phantom, Swing, and Boxa. There's a lot of them out there. And here you go. Until we're not in a bear market, crying about shit in a bear market, it doesn't make you hilarious or funny. It just makes you cry, baby. You know what I mean? There are plenty of projects that are going to fail. They will continue to fail throughout any sort of bear market or any downward pressure where you're not getting any upside. So if they don't succeed for some reason, it's the product of the bear market. There's 25,000 cryptos right now, and they're not even qualified. All 25,000 teams are not qualified to run a crypto. So there's going to be a lot of them that fail. There's going to be a lot that succeed, and we'll find them when it's time to start succeeding. But until then, it's going to be about Bitcoin. It's going to be about Ethereum, and maybe one or two of these altcoins might pop in the meantime. But I don't know. I mean, look, if you think that, and look, Volt, any one of these other cryptos could pump. They could have like a short sort of pump. But if you want real life-changing stuff happening, it's not going to happen with a 1 trillion market cap. What's going to happen with a 1 trillion market cap is you're going to get a pump on Bitcoin at some point. So buying Bitcoin is going to be a great play. Here we go. Richard says, and Richard points out, Lunk was up over 30% yesterday. Yes, Lunk is now down 27% today, meaning it's up 3% in 2 days. So that's the issue right there, is even if you get a pump out of something, you got to take your money at the top. If you don't take your money at the top, you're just going to get wrecked. And we've seen this play out over and over and over again. Like you don't need to be told. You shouldn't need to be told at this point. You don't owe allegiances to anybody but yourself and your family. Take your profit on the way up. Stop holding on to these crazy ass things just for this pie in the sky. What was it I saw today? I saw Slum Doge and Crypto Bitlord, and then of course Paulie, the guy that says Jesus and fuck and blowjob a lot. The Pepe guy. I saw these guys. I don't know if they were all having this conversation at the same time, but Slum Doge was talking about he lost $3 million on Doge. Now it could be because he cashed out the top and he lost, by going back down because he didn't want to sell on his bros. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard. Okay, because your bros don't pay your bills. Your bros don't change your life. Your bros make your life better, and you make their life better. So take your fucking profits on the way up. And if that's what they expect of you, they're not your friends anyway. You might call them bros, but they're not really your brothers, because they would be super excited. And Crypto Bitlord lost $25 million. Now, I don't know if he made $25 million. I don't know how that played out. Did he put $25 million in Mong? That's a fucking dumb idea, right? So I don't think that he put $25 million into Mong. I think he was up $25 million and he let it ride. And he's doing that just to prove that he's a bro. That's stupid. I mean, if you want to prove you were stupid, we already knew that by the fucking thing that you put on your face, right? So you don't need to prove it to us. Yeah, like that's insane. So anyway, it's not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. But I got to go. Time to walk the dog and get my shit together for the night. And we will talk to you again for breakfast in the morning. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to sign up for MEXC, BitGet, and NordVPN down in the links.
I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my